14th November, of course, for the week commencing Monday, 14th November, and we are here to bring you the best in entertainment, of course, the highlights and snippets of news, reviews you can get anywhere, of course, as usual, your movies, and definitely your talking shows like The Dialogue. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. Of course, this is the time to discuss and a time to dialogue. Once again, you're welcome to The Dialogue on Net2 TV. In a couple of moments, we'll be joining our guest on the glass chair, where we discuss pertinent issues. This week, of course, the You Start program goes live. Government's intervention for the economy. You know, post-COVID-19, government came up with some measures, and some of those measures included the rollout of the You Start program. It goes live today. There's a press launch about the program today. So my guest and I will be engaging in matters concerning the start of the You Start project. Now, the Saglemi housing project has come under the radar again this week, with the Minister for Works and Housing, Francis Asensu-Boakye, saying government intends to sell or privatize the troubled housing scheme. What do you make of it? Well, I have my thoughts, so does my guest. Well, we'll take your thoughts when we activate the phone lines, and as usual, 0240-550-899, 0240-550-899. That's the number to engage us as we dialogue on this morning's issues. Right, the name is Isaac Paulus Clottey. I'm sitting in for Oguahene Enchiboisiakon today. He's slightly indisposed, so let's keep him in our prayers so he gets better, and speedy recovery to him so he joins us tomorrow. Right, once again, the program is The Dialogue with me, Isaac Clottey, this morning. Now let's take a look at what's in the various newspapers for today. And we start off with a look at the Daily Guide newspaper. The front page of the Daily Guide newspaper says, Parliament warned over Ofori-Atta probe. Parliament warned over Ofori-Atta probe, and government sells Sacrament to developer. Has the government sold it yet? Well, we don't know. We'll take a look at the nitty-gritties of the story. Ghana-US co-chair Forest Climate Alliance. Ghana-US co-chair Forest Climate Alliance, and Kwapa Cocoa president suspended. That's the Daily Guide for you. Next up is the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and on its front page we have support economic recovery plans. President tasks journalists. Three Chinese grabbed for allegedly murdering man at mining site. Portia Gabo named 2021 Journalist of the Year. CIR drags 3 teacher unions to court over strike. That's another interesting headline this morning. Civil society taking the bull by the horns, now taking striking unions to court over the legitimacy of those strikes. What do you say about that? You think it's a step in the right direction? 0240-550-899 is the number to share your thoughts. Jinapo John Kerry co-chair first ministerial meeting of Forests Climate Leaders Partnership. The Ghana at the back page of the Ghanaian Times, we have Kotoko deepen Midiama woes and Karela for straight hearts in Accra. Next up is the Daily Graphic. And on the front page of the Daily Graphic, we have at GJA Awards, rise above partisanship. NMC chair charges media as Portia Gabo wins Journalist of the Year. Position yourselves to benefit from 20 billion climate fund. Jinapo tells developing countries. Venture capital supports SMEs with 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. And BOG, that's the Bank of Ghana, denies financing government 70 billion Ghana cedis. I don't know what the issue was about. I guess debt financing. Right, if we turn our attention to the back page of the Daily Graphic, sports dominates. And as the Qatar 2022 World Cup tournament approaches, the back page of the Ghanaian Times, the Daily Graphic sports newspaper, the Daily Graphic sports session says, Ghana to pull off surprise in Qatar. Also here this morning, as I will soon be joined by the Madam-in-Chief, Madam Kwekuma herself, as we engage in the discussions in the newspapers. The New Crusading Guide is next, and we have our minister and the cash. The New Crusading Guide newspaper on its front page says, undercover, our minister and the cash. AICC beats retreat over Anas Galamsey Economy Premier, venue still Conference Center. We also have the Daily Statesman, which says, government to sell Saglemi housing project to private developer. Nabujinapo, John Kerry co-chair initiative on climate change. Baumia supports NPP membership registration. And Dr. Eric Nkansa deserves better educationists. That's the Daily Statesman. And the final newspaper, the last but not the least, the Chronicle, sits in front of me and it says, intelligence at its best. Ningo ritual killers arrested. Human head exhumed. Yes, that's what's on your TV screens right now. Intelligence at its best. Ningo ritual killers arrested. Human head exhumed. A Sipon chief in court over receipt of 3 million Ghana cedis from Ghana Gas, Gridco. Gunshots at Ndc Elections. And EDC clients accuse EcoBank of robbery, retraction, and apology. Damongo MP, Senator Kerry, co-chair COP or COP27 session on forests. So these are some of the newspapers before us today. And when I say us, of course, it's not just me this morning. As usual, the Madam Reporter-in-Chief, Madam Kwekuma, is here with me. Auntie?
Yes. Dromona in your jogba.
Dromona
your jogba.
Oh, your jogba.
In a watch.
For if you.
Nagona.
If you. If you.
Of course, it's very important.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So what we've been saying, I did can say me chair and also Jamie so and I said no so. And you're trying the the New Patriotic Party youth organizer for Medina, Freeman Akafo. He will join us later as we engage in a discussion and a dialogue for the nation. Until I pay then article fancy world newspapers headlines. And now you see Saglemi housing project.
Yes.
Dominating.
Private developer. But before that, congratulating all the journalists. Awards last Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. Biggest night for journalists. It was last Saturday. Ghana Journalists Association. Awards. And overall, friend is saying journalist of the year happens to be a female, and we are very proud of that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Congratulations.
Yes, yeah, man, congratulations.
Yeah. You guys work really hard.
Sure. They said
really hard. Especially you. You are one of them. From TV, you jump to radio, and then Secrets of Health. Oh, clap for madam. Clap for madam. Well done.
But this story about Sagleme. Hey, what happened? Daily Graphic reported and Nanopay said government sells Sagleme to developer. Or say government has announced its intention to explore the possibility of selling the Sagleme housing project, covering 1,506 housing units at the current value, to a private sector entity to complete and sell at no further cost to the state. Hey! Minister for Works and Housing Francis Asensobuachi enra meet the press ekoso ewo Ministry of Information no odi aba betri ene yenkai omanfo kakra about Sagleme housing project.
That's right.
Sagleme housing project no na NDC for be catch the parliament to say omo ekwa kosi 1,506 units housing project e dia magana for na yenye bi atenem eko wi ase no omu si ye no just 200. Meanwhile dana was omu si ni nyina ye de hu sika ma omo nti se si aye ka se asem we e wo court.
Yeah.
Ama ora Collins Dauda any few others omo kan ho no omo e de asem no akwa court. Enti yenim de ba ye enra Minister for Works and Housing ekoye press conference and I say okoye meet the press no or say aban e decide say or debema private developer na baby a edro no private developer na nwie na ontom enti ase
na sika no ye de abehye government affordable housing scheme that's moving funds from one to another, selling one sort of investment to support another. That's a bit, I don't know.
Now, what he was saying is government in Nisika say daily guide na no or say government in Nisika. Yes, see our debate wie a dino.
Okay.
And you know, say ebia be train say say government benyeska and sana obetumi aya ebia na dino so be say in so tobo no na we abo shini nyina so na dan value no
I say government would need about $68 million to finalize on betumi. Now even before that no also almost about $46 million to provide all off-site infrastructure to say water, road network, the provision of storm drains and electricity. So even still there's going to be some form of more cash from the government, $46 million to put up those things. I don't know.
Well, and see, and then on the Abena daily guide in a man. So Parliament warned over Oforiata probe. On say last week, you know, some Obakaya, you say Parliament minority for the motion biako. Say Finance Minister vote of censure. Yenyineji every nedumemu. Na ekoye no Mr. Speaker Ediama Adult Committee says our committee no eno mu konkohwe sa asem no na omonka ena or say Parliament has come under pressure to shelve a move to investigate Ken Oforiatta Finance Minister over issues bordering on conflict of interest, which is seen as the preserve of the commission. Near Abdul Malik Kwekubako, veteran journalist, near all can say, sa semwa minority for Nediako, ya diama committee so munko investigation a bother on conflict of interest na ye strategy for Ejuma.
Okay.
It is the work of strategy.
Okay.
And you know, who here say Parliament for if the minority have any evidence and then come from strategy na omoye independent body they can investigate such matter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Kwekubako is saying. Yeah, well.
Okay, but would it stop? Would it prevent Parliament from doing that?
I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. Parliament has the authority to also do that.
Okay.
They can also do it.
Anti-corruption measures. I mean, if both state institutions conduct investigations and come out with findings, I think there's nothing wrong with it.
They can also do that anyway.
There's another topic, Mehu or Ghanaian Times on page 3. It says CRI drags 3 teacher unions to court over strike. Almost say, if I could read a bit of the news item from page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, it says, a civil society organization, Child Rights International, CRI, has dragged 3 teacher unions to the Supreme Court over strike action. CRI is making a case that the strike by the 3 unions is unconstitutional and a violation of the rights of students to education as enshrined in Articles 25 and 28 of the 1992 Constitution. What do you know what I'm saying? Because if a civil society organization will begin to initiate legal proceedings over strike actions, I don't know, but it would have far-reaching implications on our society, because even if there are strikes over the doctors, especially when they go on strike, civil health-based or health-biased civil society organizations can say they are putting the risk of the citizens, at risk. So, it demands another legal opinion.
When teachers, teacher unions, when they started this strike, people were calling on the parents, busy school, and they said they should take them on. Because really, media, I didn't support this strike.
Right.
Say we've appointed Director General of GES, Mompe.
How does that affect your the teaching of the children in class?
Why should that affect Nkwalano? And we are getting to Christmas. Nkwalano Bema Kwan says here, for a whole week you were not in school.
Should they be paid?
Bizarre. So I am happy, sir. Friend is saying, right up here.
Yeah, Child Rights International.
Well, yes, or do Omoko Supreme Court, but the court so no so do Omoko no yasem. No say we no say it has violated the rights to education of the children. And Ebian God they call High Court bia. Ebian teachers no they will be punished.
So another legal side says anything constitutional or anything about the Constitution or the interpretation of the Constitution is directed towards the corridors of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and to interpretation or compare. Well, and see, but there then they say, National Labour Commission for restraining order. So teachers, they are expected, say,
they resume
teaching.
Right.
And also so no.
Right.
They should go back now where they had and see seminar hono Dr. Eric in cancer deserves better education is back on and also so kasa the Obokrata statesman no okay see an educational activist from the Kintampo North Municipality of the Bruno East region Usweje has urged critics, particularly teacher unions who are fighting the appointment of the acting Director General of Ghana Education Service, Dr. Eric Kansan, to come out clear on their reasons for such objection. Right. Speaking to the media yesterday, he noted that the mode of appointment of the GS Director General remains the prerogative of the President, as stated in Article 195 of the 1992 Constitution, adding that this does not include the educational qualification or rank in the GES as a criterion. But they said they have their procedural whatever that they follow. And Sana Omayi Director General. Well, there was ceremony said now the strike has been called off, and they are very important because
let's hope that they return to the classroom.
This morning.
Sharp,
very important.
Sharp.
Because even to me, and yes, sad, statesman and him here so the banano Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Vice President or Stormy NPP headquarters ho now or the akwa to you say NPP for year membership registration or say he will mobilize Fanta or Modebeye sa registration Sagle Media no so statement the Obokrata and nano pay and also the Mwasemaba.
Okay, so there is another story on page 3 of the Ghanaian Times. But I'm wondering, how do these visa scammers still in this day and age, they are still able to con people.
Sure.
There's a headline which says, police chase businessman in connection with 70,000 Ghana visa scam. A little read of the story says, the police has mounted a search for a businessman who allegedly swindled a colleague of 70,000 Ghana cedis in a visa scam at Obojo, near Medina in Accra. The suspect, Mohammed Zain Ibrahim, believed to be in his 30s, was reported to have collected the money from his victim, Sana Lumo, under the pretext of securing him a United States of America visa. But in this day and age, people still...
people are desperate to travel.
Yeah, okay, but you can be desperate, but can't you do it yourself? Or, and you'll be an anya sa.
So Omo said
because always the embassies have come out several times that third parties usually end up in your visa being bounced anyway. So 70,000 Ghana cedis for a US visa. Well. Anyway.
To media business.
So also you say the economy is down, so 70,000 you use it to get to New York. Right. Also on, this is a serious matter. 73-year-old man reported missing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Alfred Kweku, a 73-year-old resident of Insumia near Nsawam in the eastern region, is reported missing. According to the Nsawam District Police Command, Mr. Kweku reportedly left home on November 2nd, 2022, and has since not returned. I mean, this is not a pleasurable news for anyone. So anyone who comes across the said 73-year-old man, please report to the nearest police station. Have you got any more?
Yeah, gunshots at Ndc Elections. Chronicle. Focus of violence characterized the internal elections of the largest opposition party, NDC, disrupting what should have been a rather smooth voting exercise. The election, which took place from Friday to Saturday through to Sunday across the country, recorded chaos at some voting locations. Reports indicated that there were misunderstandings at voting centers at Nalerigu Senior High School and on the campus of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, where gunshots were fired, which resulted in a near stampede. Internal election, Keke.
But the former presidential candidate of the party, who was a former president, President Mahama, stood on the platform to say, we are noted for violence.
So, yes, also when it comes to unleashing violence,
so this is just an exhibition of their trait, I suppose.
Internal election, MPP for the no more. Oh, a hard journey. So, you see, people run investment, helter skelter for their lives when 5 protracted gunshots were fired by the police in self-defense. Hey, they wanted to even attack the police.
So it was the police rather who was defending themselves. Wow. A group of 10 heavily built men had gone in to rescue their colleague, but the police fired the warning shot to disperse them, while the police whisked the arrested macho men away. There was, however, no record of injury, neither did the incident affect the voting process, which was going on smoothly. Right. We thank God there was no injury.
Yes. But
did they mention arrests have been made?
No.
Or, because if the police were under attack, they were defending themselves, then the perpetrators of that attack should be
arrested.
Exactly.
Police force, as usual, investigations underway. Black market dealers charged before court. Now say say black market for more mujina kwan was sense scan. Omo na omama dollar no e cost so de bia ni rate omo de ba. Enti Bank of Ghana for na say omo ni police for ka bo mo e clamping down on such people. Yes see the ebimo akwa kojina court. Bank of Ghana in an effort to clamp down on illegal currency market operators or black market dealers to give the city some stability against the major trading currencies, would be prosecuting close to 100 people.
Wow.
So far, the BOG, through the assistance of the police, arrested these people at various market centers in Accra, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Tudu, and Zongo Lane. Now, Omango Kumase. Well, and see, and Crawford Mujaja Kwan was a sense scano. You see, a nipper 100, and I do a moko court. Now, almost so Aquacoshe and once.
But is this move, is it really a practical move that will bring down the woes and cries of people who deal in dollars?
Because still people are doing it. Go to airports there and see. They are still there.
Yeah.
You go change, you go change. You go change Makola Tudu. They are still there. So I don't know.
And those guys are fronting for the big shots, those who own the millions of dollars and CDs who are engaged in that business.
Yeah.
So if the appropriate persons or groups of people are not stopped, these ones will be harassing those.
Some people are supplying them with the dollars.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, Chronicle signed the Abasa intelligence at its best. Ningo ritual killers arrested. Human head assumed. Hey, Asamu. Hey, yes, Ningo Oko Honomoa. And Crawford, Kum Crawford, Ewo. Ningo Pram Nin Potem Ho. No Chronicle for ya this story nearby. And I know more can say at that time no ne yanchi will be a but say Nyamia Domama police for no achi any panibi. I'm a baby or modi nipatino coco shay or Makako true after assassin. Hey, and see Nipana Yakuno no a George or Sabuti. Who was found murdered about 3 weeks ago for alleged ritualistic purpose that has assumed from a home at Mangochuna. No, old Ningo Pram District, Greater Accra. Fortunately, no, any pana or modi say no police for to me actually.
Right.
Yo, until Chronicles so they are banana.
So let's just clarify. I'm sure this is I don't know if it's a trend that's going on in the area or it's a one-off criminal
No. It was ongoing. Yeah.
Okay.
Now people there were complaining.
Okay.
That these days, now will be better with
Okay.
Yeah. So the police moved in,
All
and
right.
now Omotumia make arrest. It was ongoing.
Okay. Okay. So as not to raise unnecessary fear and panic
No.
in the Ningo
Chronicle has
Pram.
been consistent with this story.
That's why it says intelligence at its best. It's managed to bring up a scoop.
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations. And as the story has yielded some arrests, congratulate the Chronicle. Right. Any more headlines you've noticed?
Anas, so acquire investigations about Galamsey. Until Obabe video now Ghana for. Until you heard.
Okay. Right. Well, exclusive. I've been told to inform you soon. Today, Anas will be exposed further. So keep your television dial, right here on Net2 Television. Who exposes?
Who watches the Watchman?
Thank you. Who watches the Watchman? Part 3 or 4. We are going to part 3 or 4. So stay tuned. At any time, it's going to happen right here on Net2 Television.
But it's just 6 days to World Cup.
Oh yeah.
Ghana for almost Ghana for Belgium Cup no.
Was it?
It's a Ghana Belgium Cup.
Now Jindi.
Minyini. Zadidi we dey win to minya. Ghana Belgium World Cup. Enye. Just 6 days to World Cup. We wish them all the best. So see the Yinaba
squad no. Minimum baby. You see Monday.
And then on the baba.
Yes. So let's hope. Yes, maybe me pay at least 1 or 2 local players. In the squad. Yeah. So at least even if they don't play, it gives them the hope and the confidence that in the next tournament. Or they can aspire to, it can motivate them to perform later in life. So yes, we are waiting for the 26-man squad. So your predictions for the semi-finals for the World Cup?
Semi-finals?
4 countries.
I want Senegal to be there. Yeah, Senegal, Portugal, Brazil, and Spain and Germany and abroad for Netherlands. One of
them. Ghana.
Ghana, they know, and France, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
You drew how yeah, but oh, hope we will hold this own.
Me, Ghana will be there. Ghana will be there. Ghana, Senegal, maybe England. Maybe England and possibly Argentina.
It
will be good to see Messi in the final.
Yeah, but say Obedru Hodia. Messi no say why.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
There could be a surprise at the last.
Well, Sunny I must Ghana bet me do one day. Yeah, possible.
Definitely. All right, so that has been it for our window of newspaper headlines reviewed by myself and Abena Kuma. We are still in discussion. There's the dialogue program currently ongoing right here on Net2 television. We are still waiting for the arrival of the Medina youth organizer for the NPP, Freeman Akafo. He's supposed to be here in a jiffy. We'll be discussing issues to do with the Sanglemi housing project. Government intends to privatize it. What do you make of it? Well, you can send your thoughts to our social media handles at Net2TVGH. Alternatively, when we activate our phone line 0240-550-899, you can send your thoughts on that. The You Start program goes live today, and the You Start is an intervention by the government to, let's say, drive the youth into entrepreneurship so that they can also contribute positively to the economy. Right, so all these and other things will be part of the discussion as we wait our guests for today. Should I activate the phone lines? Okay, they said in a jiffy our guest will be seated. Right. I saw a column in the Daily Graphic talking about climate fund. Right. Of course, last week or a few weeks ago, the COP27 was held in Sharm el-Sheikh in what was it called? In Egypt, where countries were supposed to make do their pledge of over $100 billion to poor and debt-ridden countries to come out of their situation, all as part of efforts to save the climate. And on page 16 of the Daily Graphic, we have the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu-Jinapor, who co-chaired the first meeting of forest and climate leaders. Also made a call on developing countries to get their act together to tap into the 20 billion fund the partnership was mobilizing to implement nature-based climate actions. This will also be discussing with our guest who is currently in the studio getting ready to join in the discussion. Like I said, the discussion we're going to revolve around the You Start program, which goes live today, or which has a press launch today. And the You Start is where the government is embarking on a youth initiative to engage the youth in being entrepreneurial and productive for the nation. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, boss?
By His grace.
Good to see you.
Good to
and your mom here, Good. And okay, then we notice here on your way here anything social.
Yeah, no pay traffic in my head in Kakra.
Traffic
in my head in Kakra.
So be a Monday.
And then Monday rush hour.
Bia needs to put their shoulder to the wheel for Mother Ghana. Definitely. Good to have you.
Yeah.
Now we have the Sanglemi housing project, which has come under the radar. Minister of Works and Housing. Asensu Bache say government intends to offload it to the private sector. So that and the You Start program is what will be our main topics for conversation today as we engage in a dialogue. But in a few weeks, in a few days, Ghana, Nyarko World Cup. From this whole week, we are going to ginger the country as we support the Black Stars to itself. And then our doing so far with their preparations, and you know, as time gets close.
You know, Nyamiadum, Anope Mabai, Minchia, Madina for Naminchia, Madina executives, Minchia, for Madina, Namid Inchiaka Sia, my General Secretary. JFK, and any birthday, I wish you a happy birthday.
Okay. Happy birthday.
Yeah, JFK. World Cup. The football is one thing, politics in BIM. Football is one thing that brings the country together. It's one thing that unites the youth. Yeah, World Cup, I expectation, yes, young ball group stages now in from. The expectation say you baby last year drew, you know, you better beyond. And I know, say the authorities are Black Star for nature. Omundio Mochika say, Akwasi ya baby, and then we are coming back home. No. I think say guys no more this time. No many abre say when bia so no they'll move ahead. At least intimi do cry, intimi do quarter finals cry, na semi finals cry for now. You say Ghana, it do baby.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, because you who's our spirit in Ghana check a crack. Especially with African Cup crampo, intimi move, a J Cup 4 years, a J 4. First country, a J 4. African Cup.
Last time, 1982.
I transfer me crab me buy a cup and I did that. I just phone in to me who cup you Ghana.
Right.
Yeah, until this time around, the Mushe in Winyam. Now I'm far on Denembra. At least not based in the ginger. That's African Cup maybe.
Right. And the Abeja Black Star sports for no yes discussion. But as a Medina youth organizer, are you organizing your youth and constituents to support Ghana? You said it's apolitical. We don't do politics with sports. So what are you doing?
In fact, football there's a bus is here. Say started say a started World Cup is here. Once a NDC MPP, on it meets na Falco. Nay, a diagro, you be a cat, Abena Ghana, Abecoso. Obia Bompire, but I know one was a football producer, still a bit per se Ghana, blaster, you lose in a sense, or the person or the score political point. Yeah. The politician will chroma and boy. And the football, they do so I strain this for with the moon moment support. And yes, President akufo-addo time, maybe ya Kwanko, but to me, I support Brantian also. Because youth like this, I mean, young youth, yeah, they are day. Okay. So at least once I mean, youth no almost so higher. Right. Because at the end of the day, no say youth need cost. And then I make us say that pennyful in your youth, no say, betting your fat.
Right, fantastic. So this is Mr. Freeman Akafo, the Medina NPP youth organizer. Straight to matters arising this morning. Yeah. They say it's Sacrament housing project, Abena. And now the government is looking at the possibility of offloading it to the private sector. Why has the government, led by the, you will say, under the president, Nana Addo akufo-addo regime, will try to build something which cost money to put up? The state has already put in money to put up. And the NPP said there were some issues. Well, we are told the issue is in court now. But why would we waste so much money only to sell it back to the private sector?
In fact, a crew has a problem. Problem pa wa na say you constantly bibia with yan dream how I ever end no. Okay. Like normally no, we should look beyond the beginning. Then we say bibia yakon adewe ye we are saying ebe before we start it. But you started with some kind of obishe the personal gain and the personal interest. Now they are bibi they at the end that country and can running at a loss, which is not good for our country. Okay. In fact, you offload this Sacrament to private way, no. To me personally, I could see say a good idea. Okay. Because we have government workers. They don't have even better accommodation. Right. So I didn't say if so be it there, young farmer be to say Senate, and I'm from be to say state housing. Finish it. Complete. And government sectors. I think the government sector need the money now could go. This time around, Krampanyama boy the full crack cost air cost. Say government you the government sector be the ministry be now mobile mukita one bus a farm of Juma. At least I'm
okay. Now hold on, I should the minister and the car here, so that we can be better informed. He said that throughout the engagement, it became evident that regardless of the option, government will have to provide additional financing to the tune of approximately $46 million to provide off-site infrastructure, including water, electricity, and storm drains to make the housing units habitable. Additionally, the minister explained that there was the need to invest approximately $68 million to complete the buildings and other essential on-site infrastructure works. So they need off-site. Government needs almost 50 million, $46 million, and on-site to make the house habitable. No, it needs a further $68 million. That comes up to about 110 or so million dollars.
And Sky cost our project is over $200 and something million.
Okay.
Former president, the Works and Housing Minister, committed to this project over $200 and something million.
Right.
And look at time now. Yes, our project. Now cement was sold around 27, 28.
Okay.
Now cement is around 80, 85.
Right.
So automatic, so person will go back to the project. The project cost will be high. Very high because times 2 or times 3 the price of materials now. So I think maybe to be partnership, private and government partnership, PPP. Yes, if it is PPP, it's fine. But if you are offloading all, then you should make sure say Yamboka.
Okay.
Yeah, if you are offloading all, you should see say Ghana Yamboka because you are branding government projects now offloading it cheap. I'm a man for a year option. What I say, will be the car background. I say when you need a year option, they will be cheap. And it's an work nation.
Okay.
I do believe that even though we need such money, a huge money in here to complete it, if government can afford it, fine. If he cannot afford it, because it's a system now, if government cannot afford it, that's a private partnership. At least we now private man, because so far if you need 110 million, means government have committed 200 million plus already. Until 100 now here is like 50%. So completion, then we divide the house. Government take maybe 60%, you take 40%.
Okay.
And with that, then we know say government have also made gains over that area. But if it happened that we offload all to private sector, maybe a scanner benye from the cry is no amount. Because time they issue $200 million, and then that $200 million, so oh my $200 million back, there is fine. Send the partner demand no my $200 million there, then it's fine.
If we get our money back,
then it's fine. But if you're not getting our money there, then we should make sure say the it should benefit the nation.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, private man or budget idea omboka.
Okay.
Maybe a builder. And this maybe a dine there.
Okay.
Yeah, cause you kumpa and I say yeah, the beya ebenyiska woman waiting here.
But how did we get here? How did we get to the point where this impressive silent housing project can't be used? It's not habitable. What's wrong with the project? Here there are no
problem project we only say makofa hoda.
Okay.
But we say it was virgin land.
Okay.
Land ahwe ni so obi anti area ho e land ate no ho kra na yesi side dan we wo so.